because I want to show you the last thing, which is creating a PDF from your document. PDF is a digital format for the document, and it's pretty universally readable. It can be used both for print applications and online applications. In order to create a PDF, I'm going to go up to the File menu, and I'm going to select Export. InDesign will give me an option to create either a PDF print or an interactive print. InDesign will give me the option to create either a print PDF or an interactive PDF. In this case, I'm going to talk about the print settings since we haven't talked about adding interactive elements at this point, but in a future lesson, we'll probably discuss interactive elements and then creating interactive PDFs. I'm going to call my file InDesign Tips PDF. And once I've done that, I can tell it to save. And now I get my options for my PDF. You'll see again that there's a selection of presets. You may create a preset for something that you use commonly, or a printer may provide you with a specific set of presets that they use that can then be loaded and used to prepare PDF files if your workflow includes submitting PDFs to your printer. You'll also notice that there are these kind of gobbledygook looking listings. These are all commercial print standards that have been agreed upon in the print industry, and what it means is if you use these settings, your document will match those standards and should be reproducible exactly as you produce it for printers that maintain those standards. They're pretty common in the printing world, so if you discuss with the printer that you'll be submitting it to, they should be able to tell you which of those versions they may or may not want you to use. Finally, there's a choice for compatibility for Acrobat. You may not want to select the latest version because you may maximize the number of people that can open your document if you select an earlier version, because more computers will have access to that earlier version and the later versions rather than just the latest version. I'm going to leave it at the default, which is Acrobat 5. You can see here there are options for compression. That helps you to create a smaller file size for your PDF without reducing the look of the data, by which I mean images, in your document, images and text. So for color images and grayscale images, it allows me to shrink what it actually saves for anything that's over a certain number of pixels per inch and lets me save them down to 300 pixels per inch. These are the default settings, and I'll probably just leave them set to those for the time being. You can see here I also have my options for marks and bleed. That's the same as we discussed when we were talking about printing the document, and you would include those for the same reasons. You may be submitting a PDF to the printer, and therefore you may want to include all or some of these marks to give the printer more information about your document. We'll talk about some of the more advanced settings in a later lesson, but for now I'm going to go ahead and export my PDF. The other thing I wanted to show quickly in the general settings here is that you have the option to view the PDF after exporting. I'm going to leave that selected so we can take a quick look once it finishes. I also have the option to optimize for fast web view and to create a tagged PDF, and also to include interactive elements. I will point out that even though there are two different options for PDFing, interactive and print, either version will work in the other setting. The only thing is if you use a print PDF online, you may find that it's a bit slow to load and that it's a larger file because it contains more information for the printer. You may find with an interactive PDF, if you go to print it, that it looks a little bit low resolution because usually for interactive activities, you don't need quite as high of a resolution and you'll want it to load faster. I'm going to go ahead and say export. And now you'll see the Acrobat Reader pops up with my PDF. Here it is. I didn't include the marks or the bleed, so you'll notice that my document is cropped at the edges of its pages. And I can scroll down to see my 2 pages here. So that's it. That's how you can either save or print your document for distribution.